Hi and good evening. Welcome to Thfc Till I Die. Tottenham past, present, and a very exciting future. And boy, what a future it's going to be. The first fixtures are out today. The transfer window open. It's been a week of many news stories coming out of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And joining me on this journey of excitement and intrigue and mystery and a bit like a Scooby-Doo cartoon, who done it, is my old friend Philip Brady. Philip, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm good, Dermot. Yeah, I'm glad to get the fixture out of the way. It's always an exciting day to know who we're facing up with. And we've been dealt a fairly tough hand by the computer this year, especially on the run-in towards the end of the season. So, difficult one.
Yeah, definitely have. Well, I think we'll have to send in Scooby-Doo and his gang to find out who the culprit is, and probably end up finding it's David Dean of Arsenal, knowing him.
You probably find the server is located in the back of the Arsenal main stand or somewhere, you know.
Oh yeah, knowing them, it probably will be Philip. Anyway, shall we see who's in the house tonight? Who's watching us? First we've got Ellie, and she says, "Big up Dermot and Philip, carrying us through all the adventures of THFC." Yeah, there's a few of them. We've got FJT Handball.
Yeah. Is it misadventures or adventures? I don't know.
I don't know who the handball is. We was talking about Henri. That man is not welcome in Ireland anytime soon.
Yeah. Anytime, full stop.
Yeah, cheating French git. Wayne Bonner, he also played for Arsenal as well, so we're entitled to that one. Wayne Bonner says, good evening. Hope everyone is well. I'd rather sit through a serious bad VAR decision than have the likes of Dyer and Maguire at Spurs. What do you reckon, Philip?
Well, I mean, 3 weeks ago, Eric Dyer was on the verge of signing a new 3-year deal, and now it appears he's on the verge of going to play abroad. So I think we all know which is the most favourable of those two outcomes, and it's not the contract. So hopefully Dyer won't be in the equation. Maguire, you know, much as he's a much maligned player, would not surprise me. I just can't get this out of my head. It wouldn't surprise me if he came in. We can do better, obviously, and hopefully we'll do better, but it's just one of those ones that won't go away, you know?
If it's the Maguire of Leicester, I'd be happy with that, but not the Maguire of United. That's him. But big up Wayne. We've got FTSM Colin. Big up Colin. Man United fan says, afternoon, gents. Afternoon. Wayne says, speaking of which, do you think Levy uses VAR to do transfers to see if the price is right?
Oh, the transfer meter VAR, yeah. If it goes over a certain level, he's definitely not doing it. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't know what he uses.
A bit like Bruce Forsyth, play your cards right, isn't it? Higher or lower.
Yeah.
You can imagine them in the boardroom doing that. Carl Simpson, evening, gents, evening, Carl. We've got Drula, evening, guys. Yeah. We've got Kate Boxwell, evening, gents. And she also says, Jim and I are in my car waiting for our son to finish scouts, but he says hello. Okay. Hello, Jim.
How are you?
Right. Well, we've had a bit of news since we were on last, Philip. I don't know where I do want to start, but I am going to start with this bit of breaking news. I've been sitting on this now for a few days. Now, I couldn't say anything because my source who gave it to me told me I couldn't say anything, but he gave me the go-ahead tonight, and this is the news, that we were in talks with Ralph Rangnick to become our new director of football, but them talks are now dead in the water. Spurs kept trying to talk with him since the Julian links. Ralph has told Tottenham no, ended any further talks with the club. Daniel now returns his attention to his third choice, Lee Dykes of Brentford. His second choice, Tim Stitton, looks set for a West Ham move. Philip, you know, this is getting to be like a manager search, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's not as crucial as a manager search. The manager search is the one that had to get done first, I think, and that has been done. At least that Tim Stidden has been mentioned, but he's chosen to go down the bubble route. So fair dues to him. That's what he wants to do. Lee Dykes of Brentford. Brentford are going to love us. They're going to have a grudge match against us first day of the season, you know. We might have taken the goalkeeper and the director of football off them, so they'll be gunning for us. But that Lee Dykes guy comes very highly recommended, and is one of the reasons why Brentford punch above their weight so often. It's because he's able to identify players, get them in at reasonable cost, and he would be a great addition to our setup if we can get him.
Yeah, and also Chris Davis is to be part of the backroom staff with Ange Postecoglou. Interest from Swansea to be their manager. Davis was recently assistant manager to Brendan Rodgers at the relegated Leicester City, which sort of leads me on to this other bit of breaking news we got tonight, Philip, and it is Tottenham Hotspur make bid in excess of £50 million for Newcastle targets Barnes and James Maddison.
Barnes, yeah, right. If I could just pass a comment on Krista on the previous thing there, I hope he didn't learn too many bad habits from Brendan Rodgers. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one with Harvey Barnes and James Maddison. I would think they could be. I can see now why maybe Dan Juma has been let go back to wherever he came from after his loan deal. Harvey Barnes, a decent player. James Maddison, we all know, is a very good player.
Yeah.
If we were able to get those two for 50 million, I doubt we will, because I think they were looking for 50 million for Maddison on his own. So I doubt we'll get them with that. But maybe a little bit more. That would be a real boost to our forward play next season. And also might just tip the wing to Harry Kane that Postecoglou means business.
Well, look, I'd be quite happy with Barnes and Maddison coming. I've always said, I said during the season that Harvey Barnes I always thought he was a good player. And James Maddison, well, look, you were at the Leicester game, Philip, and look at the goal he scored and look what he can do.
Yeah, he ran that game for 50 minutes until we made our subs and he faded out of it. But he caught the eye every time he got the ball. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, it's very, very interesting. So that's something to keep an eye on. Philip, also, the fixtures have come out today.
Yeah.
And here are our first 5 home fixtures and our last 5 home fixtures. We start on the 13th of August away to Brentford, then on the 19th at home to Manchester United, Ange's first home game in charge. Then we're away to Brentford, away to Burnley, and then home then on the 16th of September to Sheffield United. And then our last 5 fixtures were home to Manchester City on the 20th of April, home to the enemy, the El Gunners, on the 27th of April, away to Liverpool on the 4th of May, home to Burnley on the 11th of May, and then on the 19th of May, we are away to Sheffield United. And if you look at the final 2 games there, Philip, they're exactly the same. The last 2 games of the home games and the last 2 games of the away games are exactly the same, which is quite funny. But look, what do you see? I mean, look, I can see us 3, 6, 9, 12. I can see probably 13 or 14 points out of them first 5 games we can pick up.
Yeah, Man United obviously is going to be the one to really watch. I think maybe I think 3 wins and a draw we might get. We might lose to United. Well, we might. Oh no, I hope we beat United. But I'm looking at Burnley. That's the one that worries me.
Yeah,
always worries me going to Burnley. because I think that they will have a point to prove back in the Premiership. Yeah. Very good manager. Played lovely football last season. So we'll have to watch that one. But again, I'm giving out about the computer here. Last season, we played home to Southampton first game and away to Leeds on the last day of the season. And I think that's the way it should be for every club. Home and away, first and last. We are now away on the first day of the season and we're away on the last day of the season, which means that certain club down the road have 2 home games to start and finish the season, which I don't think is fair. And also, if you look at the run that we have from mid-April to the end, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
We've got Newcastle away, City at home, Arsenal at home, Liverpool away, and then Burnley at home. I mean, that's a horrendous run. I don't know who thought that one up, but thanks very much. And I hope your Arsenal shirt sticks to you. You can't get it off.
Yeah. I mean, if you look there, 2nd of April, West Ham away, Forest at home, and then you've got Newcastle, City, and then Arsenal. Yeah. If you look between October and March, them games are winnable, Philip. October, November, December, January, February, March. They're all winnable games.
I'm looking at December. Apart from the City away game, with West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Forest away, Everton at home, Brighton away, and Bournemouth at home. So they're winnable as well. It's only that we need to have enough points in the bank going into April as a kind of insurance policy about things going wrong in that time of the year. Because let's face it, if that was this April, we'd lose every game.
And also, Philip, we're not in Europe as well.
No,
So
that's going to be a help. And also, some of those teams might still be in Europe.
yeah.
Hopefully,
And
Arsenal aren't,
yeah.
but City certainly will be, and Liverpool probably will be. So,
and also, sorry, go on.
So maybe they'll have other things on their mind at that stage, you know.
And also, we've got, because we're in the second round of the League Cup as well at the start of September. I think it's between the Burnley and the Sheffield United game, I think, if I'm right. Any games you're looking forward to? I'm Luton now. Nice to see Luton back, where you have to go through a house to get to their stadium, which is blooming hilariously funny.
I think I heard the most optimistic fan of the season this morning with David Harris saying he hopes to get a ticket for the Luton game.
Well, I did say to him, Luton's going to be easy because you can fly from Dublin to Luton, get a bus from Luton down to the stadium, which is only about a 20-minute bus ride, and you're at the stadium.
But
and
there's going to be 50,000 people wanting to go to that match.
I went to Luton's ground once years ago, and actually, you literally do have to walk through a house.
I know
to get into.
It's absolutely hilarious. It really is. I'm delighted to see them back. I'm delighted to see Luton back.
I am.
And I think they're going to surprise a few people. I really do.
Yeah, I do. I hope David Pleat has plenty of AA cover and RAC cover around there.
And as long as they don't play well against us, they can play well every other match.
Yeah. Just a quick update. These are our London derbies. 13th of August, away to Brentford, down on the 30th of Jan. We're home to them. The big one, 23rd of September, we're away at Arsenal, and the 27th of April, we're home to them. 23rd of September, sorry, we're away. Now, and then we're home down on the 21st of October and the 16th of March away to Fulham Palace, the 28th of October away, and the 2nd of March at home. Bonfire night nearly for the Chelsea home tie on the 4th of November, away on the 24th of November. And of course, West Ham United, we're home to them on the 5th of December and away to them on the 2nd of April. Philip, look, London derbies have never been great for us. We've got a bad record when it comes to London derbies.
There's too many of them. In fact, I'd nearly class that as Luton being a London derby as well. It's almost on the borderline of being another 2 games. That makes 14 matches.
Yeah.
Well, a third of the season or more played against teams from London or the surrounding areas. So, no, we haven't got a great record in them, especially at Arsenal. I mean, my God. But I know we're going to discuss that later, the timing of that fixture. But we need to do better in these London derbies.
But we do. How many points do you think we'll get out of them, Philip?
What are we talking? 36 points. Oh, God. I'd say if we get 18, we'll be doing well.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually think so too. FTSM column says we'll give you 12 points out of your first 5 games.
And I take it we're going to lose to United. That'll be key.
Hang on. I've just got some breaking news. Right. Right. This is actually right. Hang on. Just let me double check this, Philip. Right. Now, we did bring it up earlier, Philip, about the Maddison deal, about Tottenham have make the bid in excess of 50 million for them too. Well, I've just got it confirmed that I understand that Tottenham have not sent any official proposal for Harvey Barnes and James Maddison. It would make no sense to submit a joint bid for 50 million. No chance. That's coming out of Spurs this evening. But Spurs are working on both Maddison and Barnes deals, but the reports of a bid are described as wide off the mark.
Well, does that mean they bid more than 50 million?
Maybe so, Philip. I don't know. It's all I've got.
Interesting.
That's all I've got. So they have not bid 50 million for Newcastle. Now, I was saying earlier I was speaking to somebody earlier, and I said I would think they would put in a 70 million pound bid plus a player to get Harvey Barnes and Maddison at Tottenham.
That's Eric Dyer.
No, they wouldn't take Eric Dyer. You know Eric Dyer. Nobody's going to take Eric Dyer.
We're in the. He'll get a team somewhere. He certainly will, and that's the championship team now you're talking about. So
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think listen, we can well afford to offer players in part exchange now. I mean, we can have a car boot sale with some of the guys coming back in. So that makes sense to offer a cash plus player.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, look, if you are enjoying this, please hit the like button, hit the subscription button as well. And if you want to, you can always pick up a membership. They're only $2.99, cheaper than Netflix, and you get more for your money than you would with Netflix or Disney Plus or Paramount Plus. Any of them, you get more for your buck here. And also, if you want to jump the queue and also get ahead of the chat, you can make it into a super chat, and then we will get your comment up first. We'll get your comment up first, and we'll get rid of that. Now, Philip, we are doing the competition because we have a proper Royal McCoy 100% genuine Emerson Royale signed shirt to give away. So, do you want to explain to the people how they can enter?
Very
what do they have to do?
Very simple. Between now and the first week in July, we're running a competition over 4 weeks. The prize at the end of it is an Emerson Royale signed shirt. And what we're doing is give you a different question every week. And the way you enter is you do a €2 or £2 or whatever equivalent currency super chat, minimum £2 or €2. And for every super chat that goes in, your name goes into the hat. And about maybe the 6th or 7th of July, we will draw a winner who will take away that shirt. And it's a great prize. And I mean, you can enter as many times as you like. There'll be a different question every week. And the qualifying question this week is so difficult that nobody's got it right yet. It's really, really sticky. It's who was the Spurs manager in the double year of 1960 to 61? So put that in the super chat. You will take a note of your name, and you're in the draw, and you have a chance of winning that shirt.
It was Bob Geldof.
No, it was Winston Churchill. Or what? No, it was Michael Collins.
Was it Michael Collins? No, it was Bob Geldof, because he kept saying to leave me, give me your beeping money, like he did on Live Aid. Give us your beep. Do you know what? I actually read somewhere the two top countries who gave to Live Aid were Ireland and America.
Yeah, I know. We are really good at doing things like that, you know.
Yeah, we are as a country. We really are. I'm just welcoming a few more people in. We've got Audio Aston, big up. We've got who else? We've got Henry Saigo. He says Winks with a wink. No, Winks can stay where he is. He can bring Dyer with him and all. And who else is in? Ellie put a comment in here, Philip. I'm trying to find it very quickly before we move on. And we've got NS Sports TV, big up. NS Sports TV, where we shall see you on the 4th of November or the 5th of November. Where did Ellie put that comment? She went, handball cheat, Henry done a kipper, but Dermot, you profess Maradona was off his shoulder.
Now, answer that one.
Now, I'm going to make this very clear. Maradona did not handle the ball in the net. It came off his head. Now, if you look very, very closely, it came off the less freckles of his hair. It never touched his hand, Eddie. It never did. So there you go.
Dermot, I'm going to disagree with you there. I really have to. If that wasn't a handball, there's no such thing as VAR.
But can I just say now, if VAR was around then,
they would have given it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh, we give him a handball.
But you got to give him credit for the craftiness of it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, Thierry Henry didn't even try and hide it. No, I mean, he had that ball thinking he was going to get caught. He couldn't believe it when he got away with it.
Yeah.
Maradona winked at the referee on the way back.
I always remember as a kid, right, watching that, right, we moved back from Ireland to St Albans again. We were in bed and breakfast because my mum and dad were in the middle of buying the house at the time. And I remember watching it, right, and I remember him running away, right, and he kept looking at the linesman and the referee. Right, they're not going to give it. I think the shock on his face when they gave it and all. And look, the second goal, you can't
up for it. I mean, that was class.
Yeah, that was class. I think I've upset a few of the English fans in the comments now, Philip, with that actually. So.
Oh dear, dear. Oh well, it's all good fun.
Yeah, Wayne said it's Johnny number 5 from Short Circuit. That was the manager.
Right.
Carl's saying it was Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop telling everyone the wrong answer. It was Chuck Norris.
Oh,
Wayne,
dear.
Wayne said it was the Daleks.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a blast from the past.
um,
Oh dear.
Kate says, "Oh damn it! I might cancel my membership after that statement." Oh dear.
Oh, don't, Kate. Okay, I'm on your side, Kate. Stay, stay.
Yeah. If Maradona didn't handle the ball, Colm says, "I'm the first ever 16-foot 9-inch leprechaun."
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
indeed.
and Wayne said, "Henri never touched the ball, touched his hand. It was off his chest."
Yeah, he was. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, and apparently, Carl says Thierry Henry's my favourite player. Yeah, like Ellie is.
Yes,
But
yes.
look, you can't say the second goal, Philip, was
It was class. I mean, it
yeah.
was just
I mean,
out of this world.
yeah. Gary Lineker said he nearly sort of applauded him, but
Yeah,
actually,
it was that good. It was that good.
yeah.
It
And
was.
Wayne says, "Hell, I can't lose. My man's from Tipperary. My dad's folks were English and Welsh." Well, and Kate says she's
fun with rugby.
yeah, she's going to stay for you, Philip.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, there you go. Oh Lord, shall we quickly just move on? Yeah, so put in the €2 super chat to enter the competition, and your name will be put into a hat. I'm coming up for the question next week. Ellie then the week after, and then Mia will come up with the last question on the 4th week, and then the end of that week we will pull the winner out of the hat. It is a proper 100% real McCoy, no Del Boy Rodney out of a Robert Reliant
It's a
dodgy
genuine, fake,
suitcase.
it's a genuine, fake, authentic one.
Yeah.
But, actually, we should say that the money that we raise will be kept in an account until the thing is all done and dusted, and will be handed over to a charity of our choice at the end of the competition. And we will be putting up evidence of payment of that money over to the charity. So just to keep everything above board.
Yeah. And then Sports Steve says, "Who do you hate more, the English or the French?" I'm claiming the fifth. I'm claiming the Fifth Amendment on that.
I'm going for the French because anytime I've been in France, if they hear you speaking English, they don't want to talk to you.
No, hang on.
So
English or the French? Who's worse? What? For a nation. Right, I'm going for the French.
If you put air traffic controllers after that, I think
yeah, that's true. That's true. No, I'm claiming the fifth on that. I'm not stating.
No, I'm going for the French.
I'll get myself into too much trouble if I state what I say. So I love everyone. Anyway,
by the way, just a comment went through there. I don't think we should showed it up there, and it's a bit of transfer news that I'm quite surprised at. Actually, is that Clement Longley has gone back to Barcelona.
Yeah, it was just about to come to it, Philip. I've got it in here, actually.
No, that's it there now. I mean, I'm not surprised Dan Juma has gone back. He never really got a chance. But I'm actually quite surprised Longley's gone. We could have had him for $6 million. And I can only think that maybe Postecoglou doesn't fancy him, and that's why that's gone back.
Well, what you're left with, Eric Dyer and the Sanchez.
Yeah,
but
does that mean we're bringing in players? They're on the way in because you don't play like Longley go unless you've somebody coming in to replace him.
Yeah. Well, look, we are in for Laporte, so that's one that's supposed to be coming over the line. Look, I'm sad to see Longley go. I wish him well, and so is Dan Juma as well. Wish him well as well, and also I want to wish all the academy players who have been let go, all the young lads that have been let go as well, all the very best, and I hope to find another club or whatever.
In the game. I'm surprised he's gone. He's gone because he won't sign a contract, which is quite strange.
Do you know what, Philip? We won't sign him, but we give Troy Parrott a contract.
Well, Troy Parrott is beyond that. Troy Parrott's 21. He's gone beyond that stage. He's been through the academy, so he's done. He's paid his dues.
Yeah, that's true. Kate saying, "Thank God Longley is gone."
Yes, he's a divisive player. Some people loved him, some didn't. All I'm saying is, is he worse than what we've got left at the club? And I don't think he is.
Look, Eric Dyer and Sanchez are the worst, and we are going to get onto that, Philip, because We are now going to bring up the Spurs Weekly News, and it's been a week of sort of developments, hasn't it, really? And the first one up here is David Sanchez is up for sale. Tottenham Hotspur also consider selling Eric Dyer and Højbjerg. Look, we were on Dave's podcast yesterday, Philip, and you know how I feel about Højbjerg.
I think we both feel the same way about that.
Yeah, I mean, that man, I haven't seen passing like him since Glenn Hoddle. And he did one ball during the season, and he was a good, say, 10 yards outside our area. And he pinged a 70-yard pass to Harry Kane, and it went straight to Kane's foot.
Yeah.
And Kane scores from it.
I'd say it's a pity. The once is probably the telling question there. He needs to do it more often, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
You're right. I take your point. But then again, it shows you, he's a defensive midfielder. It shows you how lacking in creativity we have been. If our best passer is a boy that's meant to not to be passing, if you know what I mean. You know? So
Column's still trying to give us Maguire. He's your problem now. He's your problem.
Tell him if you pay us 20 million, we'll take him off your hands.
Yeah. Want to say big up to Caption Grandma. It says, for the certainly not last time, it was a Reland Regal, not a Robin Reliant.
Oh, right. So I always thought it was a Robin Reliant. That's really
I always thought it was a Robin Reliant out of Del Boy.
Oh, right. Okay. Actually, a guy in the village where I live in used to have one of them, a complete yellow with the Trotters Independent Trading on the side of it and everything. And what he used to do was he used to get the bridegroom to come to weddings in it.
Fair enough. I never knew that. Well, big up Caption Grandma. Big up. Yeah. But look, Sanchez definitely going. Dyer definitely, yes, he can go. Højbjerg, no. Look, how much would you... For me, Philip, look, Højbjerg, for me, he can sit in the front of that defence and shield the ball and break it up and bring it forward. You look at the partnership he has with Bentancur, probably one of the best in the Premier League, once they're both playing at the top of their ability. What did he play? 45 games out of 49 games out of 49. He played 45 times out of 49 games last season.
He's a robot. He's a robot.
He's a robot. He really is. But look, Dyer and Sanchez, get rid.
50p for the two of them. I mean, Eric Dyer, talking of a 3-year contract was laughable, really, you know. Yeah. And I think now he must have realised his agent may have talked sense into him to know that he's not going to. He may have got away with it under Mourinho and the Garden Gnome and Conte. Yeah. And Stellini. He's not going to get away with it under Postecoglou. That guy could spot a fraud from 50 feet, you know. So I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think so too. It looks like Laporte was signed for Spurs. Raya asking price is still an issue. Now, he has agreed personal terms with Tottenham, Philip. So that bit has done.
That's something.
It's still an issue. But look, 40 million, too much for him. I'm looking at 20, 25 million for him. What do you think?
We'll probably end up paying about 30.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a compromise, you know?
Yeah. And also, Sancho interest remains, but nothing will be done until after the sale announcement is done. Aston Villa also wants Sancho. Right. I'm going to probably disagree with you here, Philip. I wouldn't mind Sancho at Tottenham.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I look at it is if we get Harvey Barnes and James Maddison, there's no room for Sancho, you know? And so at that point of view, okay, if he comes, I'll welcome him and hope he does well, but he wouldn't be my priority. But the thing about this thing is, I mean, this Manchester United sale is running longer than Coronation Street. So when's that going to finish? I mean, once that's finished, then maybe things would become a whole lot clearer for Tottenham and for Manchester United. Because then we know who the underbidder is going to be. But Sancho, I'll pass on him for the moment anyway.
Yeah, Tottenham have intensified their contacts with AC Roma over Roger Ibanez.
Ibanez, yeah, he's a good
Ibanez, yeah, he's a very good player.
Yeah, so although then again, you don't know how much poison Jose Mourinho spouting about Tottenham to the Roma board. Don't deal with that fella. Yeah, you know that could be a tricky one.
It could be, and also we've got Tottenham are working to find. This one cracks me up, right? Tottenham. This is just Daniel Levy down to a T, right? Tottenham are working to find a solution and agreement with Juventus to keep Kulu at the club. they are taking place to reduce the 35 million asking price buy option, with the player also keen on staying at Spurs.
They've offered 25 million apparently.
Yeah.
But I think the two words that got me there is final solution. Sounds very drastic.
It does, actually.
Yeah. I think, that it's no coincidence that Juventus stuck it out there this morning. They're touting into Newcastle now. So they're trying to force Spurs' hand to pay the asking price.
Yeah, they are. They really are. This broke this morning. Real Madrid want Richarlison. Richarlison has stated as saying he has stated as, I am at the club under contract. I have to prove to Tottenham why they bought me for such a huge high fee. It was ridiculous. 60 million euro for him was too much. But any player would want to go to Madrid. No official offer or talks have happened yet, as they remain focused on Mbappe. But he could be their next target if that move falls. Now, Mbappe now has come out and said he never gave the letter to PSG. He says he never said he wanted to leave. PSG are now saying, yes, you did put in the letter. You do want to leave. We're not going to let you leave for nothing. If Real Madrid came knocking for Richarlison, would you sell him?
Very hard to refuse Real Madrid, although relationships are not great between Spurs and Real Madrid. Levy stood on a few toes there over the previous transfers of Bale and Modric. I would say if they came in with a ridiculously high offer, we'd probably take it. Because I don't think we saw the best of Richarlison. In fact, we definitely didn't see the best of Richarlison. But he may well blossom this season. The second season, you never know. But I have a feeling if a bid comes in, I think he'll be gone.
That came from my source, who was very reliable. So he told me that the other day. So that's where that news came from. And the last bit of news, Philip, this week was United confirmed they are out of the Kane transfer saga. Expect Madrid confirmation soon. Now, I really haven't heard a lot from Madrid that they're out of the running, Philip. But I think they are after going after Mbappe, so that's sort of knocked out.
Mbappe and Richarlison. Let's face it, their pecking order really should be Mbappe, Kane, Richarlison. Yeah. But now it appears to be Mbappe and Richarlison. So that would mean to me that I'm more confident than I was now. I'm confident that Kane will actually stay at Tottenham.
Yeah. Look, Harry Kane, what do we do with him? Because look, he's got a year left in his contract. He can talk to anybody he wants to in January in Europe. Now, Daniel Levy's got 6 months to convince him, and Postecoglou's got 6 months to convince him to stay at the club, to commit his future to Tottenham. Now, does Harry sign a year's contract extension, just go by year? Yeah. Did Tottenham drop their asking price and say, okay, you can go for 80 million? Do you know, are we holding the player to ransom that doesn't want to be there?
Well, I mean, has Harry Kane ever come out and said he wants to leave Tottenham in so many words?
No.
He hasn't. Okay, I know he's frustrated, like the whole lot of us have been, over the way things went last season when we should have gone, right? But I think Harry Kane is a family man. His wife's pregnant. To move now to Spain or something in the middle of that might be too big an upheaval for him. So that might mean he might say right to Postecoglou, right, lads, I have until January before I can really, start talking to other clubs. If things are going well up to January, I might sign an extension to my contract.
Yeah.
If it's not going well, then I'm off. I might just go in the summer. It's whether Daniel Levy wants to take that chance. But Daniel Levy is unequivocally said he's not selling Harry Kane. So that would lead me to believe that Harry will be here.
Well, he sort of pushed himself into a corner in this situation, hasn't he, really?
He has, yeah.
Carl said, I'm a DERNMOT. I think there's a player in Sancho. It just hasn't worked out at United. Look at Zaha when he went to United. It just didn't work out. And that's true, Philip. Players
I'm probably being ultra critical of the guy, but I know my feelings about Sancho is based on a good friend of mine who's a Man United fan, and he cannot wait to get rid of him. Yeah. And that leads me to believe they haven't seen the best of him up there at all.
Yeah. And Adrian Lawrence says, let's pretend we didn't hear DERNMOT mentioning Holby out and Hoddle in the same sentence. Now, are you going to back me up on this, Philip? Because I'm not the only one that says this on this channel.
No, I don't think you're comparing the two. You can't.
No.
I mean, comparing Højbjerg's passing range with Glenn Hoddle's, it's like looking at a Rolls Royce and a Skoda and buying the Skoda. He's a good passer of the ball. He's got a good range of passing, but he ain't nowhere in the league of Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
And neither would you expect him to be.
No, some of his passing was like Glenn Hoddle. That's the point I'm making. Some of his passing was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's 70 yards. Yeah. That's 70
that's not his
ball.
job, though. That's not his job. If he did it, it was kind of extracurricular activity.
Yeah.
But he did it,
Well, there you go. Right. We're now going to these. Right. Spurs' first 5 games. How many points we get? We've done that. With Darren Sanchez, Philip, being put up for sale, are we at last seeing a proper rebuild at Spurs?
Well, we can only hope. I mean, let's face it. When Mourinho came in, we thought, yeah, this is it. He didn't do it. When the Garden Gnome came in, we all said, oh, what the hell is this guy doing here? He didn't last. He wouldn't even talk to the players. Conte was brilliant for the first end of up to Christmas.
Yeah.
And after that, fell off the cliff. So now Levy has gone through. We've basically, since November 2019, we've been treading water.
Yeah.
Since Pochettino left. We've been fumbling from one crisis to another without the manager of the day being backed to bring in players that we've needed since Pochettino's time. I mean, the fact that there are 5 or 6 players still in that squad that were there when Pochettino came to the club, never mind left the club. It's okay. I know Kane is one of those, and Lloris and Dyer, and maybe there's others, but maybe Ben Davis. That is ridiculous. I mean, players need to be turned over far quicker than that. So maybe, yes, now Levy has probably seen the fact, here's my chance. We've got a manager that I've got in for relatively small money. There was no big compensation to be paid.
No.
This guy is he's a tough talking, straight talking Aussie. And I would not like to be in a room with Daniel Levy and Postecoglou if there was a row going on, because I know whose side I'd be on, and it wouldn't be Levy's. So, I think maybe this could be it. This could be it.
Victor Nelson loves tackling something Dyer doesn't do ever. No.
Yeah, but again, we haven't offered enough for that guy. We've offered way less than his asking price.
Look, where are you on this, Philip? Look, I can understand clubs going low to begin with, because you don't offer high. You sort of offer low. You sort of meet in the middle. But do you think Tottenham going too low?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like Daniel Levy has probably got the worst reputation of any club chairman. I mean, I think, I'm not sure which French team was it that they dealt with. Maybe it was whichever team in Ndombele came from, maybe Olympic Lyon, maybe, or some of that. Said the chairman said dealing with Daniel Levy was the worst experience of his business life. The guy was impossible to deal with. So that's probably the same being said by a lot of chairmen over the country, over the rest of that, and over Europe. Well, you give a dog a bad name and it sticks.
Yeah, Alex Ferguson refused to deal with them ever again.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah. Now, apparently, the Victor Nelson deal is almost done. Have you heard anything, Dermot? I will ask my source. I will ask him that now. I will measure that in a minute once I get up to the next question when Philip is answering it.
Philip, Victor Nelson and Laporte would be a good centre back pairing with Romero in the three of them.
Conor Gallagher is also a late player that's been.
Again, if we get Maddison, we don't need Gallagher.
No,
mind you, if we don't get Maddison, we might need Gallagher.
Right.
Press, is there?
Yeah, there is. This is actually on Harry Kane. I'm sorry if we go silent. It's just I get the news very straight to me. Big news on Kane. All the talk about Harry Kane this window so far has not been his own doing. His brother, Charlie Kane, has been dealing with things on his behalf and is trying to get Kane a bigger club. Kane has not expressed any desire to leave Tottenham this summer.
Charlie Kane fella should have been put down at birth. Honest to God, he's a gooner fan. This is him. He's trying to do what he tried to do 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he missed out on his commission that time, and hopefully he missed out again this time. Harry should just listen, you're my brother, I love you, but butt out and leave me to make up my own decision.
Yeah. I agree with you. But look, Conor Gallagher, look, he's a very good young player, Philip.
Decent player. He was at loan at Palace the season before last. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'd rather Maddison, but if Maddison doesn't arrive, Conor Gallagher, or another one that hasn't been mentioned, James Ward-Prowse, something along those
Yeah.
You know, that type of standard is what we need.
The last two can take free kicks, though, which we desperately
Yeah,
need.
that's true. That's true. You know,
Desperately
I'm just
need.
thinking that goal that Harry scored against Brentford, I was hoping that was a free kick, but it wasn't because it was rolled to him by Kulu. So it doesn't count as a free kick, you know.
Kate says, Window's only been open for 2 days and we've been linked with 200 players.
Only 200. Seems a lot more.
Carl says, apparently Gallagher is available for 15 million. It's not a bad deal if we can get Manson.
That's pretty cheap, actually. That's
It is very, very cheap.
That's
And
shows how much
Kate,
he knows about football. He buys high and sells low.
yeah. And the Babler is linked next. He's always linked with us, to be fair.
There was the flipping Empire State Building wasn't built when we started getting linked.
Right. So, mind you, that's very true. Philip, look, with the fixtures coming out today, are there any games you're looking forward to? And which games are you not looking forward to? Look, for me, I'll go quickly first. For me, I'm looking forward to the North London derbies because we owe them one. For myself, I'm looking forward to the Luton games as well. And also the game when we get over there and watch them. The games I'm not looking forward to is Man United away and Liverpool away.
I'm looking forward to the games we win. I think United away is always City away is a tricky one. Liverpool, we owe them. We've got to get a result against Liverpool soon, you know. And so they're the ones I wouldn't like. I'm beginning to hate Newcastle away as well after last season, you know. So that we'll have to be better up there next time. But there's a lot of games I'm looking forward to. The likes of the lesser London derbies, if you like, Fulham and Palace and Brentford. You know, games like that. They're good, honest games, without the tension that you have against Chelsea and Arsenal.
Look. We were asked this morning on Dave's channel about Chelsea and Poch coming back to the lane and what reception he will get. And you know what I said? I said I hope he gets an awful reception. For me, whatever he's done at Tottenham it's finished now. He's gone over to Chelsea. It's like he declared his love for the club. Oh, I love the club. I love Tottenham. Tottenham's my club. I won't manage nobody else in the Premier League. And then suddenly, as soon as Chelsea come up, look, we'll give you about $500 million to buy players. Come and join us. Off he trots. It's not like he's short for a few bob. But, you know, he could quite retire, Philip. Retire quite happily. Retire with his family and not worry about another thing for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but I'd say even Poch, Chelsea is probably the last club he thought he'd ever go to, you know, when he left Spurs anyway. And look how long he held on. He was waiting for a phone call from Daniel Levy. That phone call never came. So, in other words, you can't blame Poch for wanting a challenge. Okay, he's taking it at the wrong club. He might as well go and manage Billy Smart Circus and manage that lot. But when he comes back, he deserves a respect for what he done for us, right? But I said this earlier on Dave's program. The minute I see him kissing the Chelsea badge, I'm done with him. Absolutely done with him.
Yeah, you know that's going to happen. Victor Nelson, Arsenal expected, just been told actually, Arsenal expected to enter the race. So it's going to be another race between us and Arsenal.
I know who'll win that because we're not in Europe.
Look, all right, I'm getting peed off with this now. With this, we're not in Europe. We're not going to get players.
It does have a factor down on players. It does.
If a player comes in, right, and he can see what they're trying to build, right, we all know what Postecoglou can do at Tottenham, right, Philip? We all know what he did at Celtic. We know what he did. He came in, he turned that club around. And I know people are going to say it's the Scottish League, it's only 2 teams. It's not. The Scottish League is a very tough league to win because you've got to beat Rangers. Is it 4 times a year?
Yeah, 4 times. Yeah, 4 times.
Yeah, you've got to beat the rest of what's in front of you. And you've got to, you're expected to do a treble every season. So you're expected to do that. This thing of being in Europe, I get it. I do understand what you're saying. I do understand that a player will want to come in, he want to play some sort of European football. I understand that. But if you're coming into a club, like Chelsea didn't have any problems buying players when they weren't in Europe. Arsenal didn't have any problems in buying players when they weren't in Europe. So why should Tottenham have any problem? Is it A, because we're not in Europe, or is it B, because of Tottenham's reputation?
Okay, I think it's mostly. I put the blame on players not wanting to come to Spurs for not being in Europe. It's down to their agents. Okay, when you're in Europe, okay, you get bonuses for playing in Europe, and ultimately those agents get a percentage of those bonuses, right? So it's all down to money in the end of it, right? I mean, players, a lot of young players that don't give a shit about projects. All they care about is how many noughts on their paycheck every week. And that's a sad reflection on the game. There are so many mercenary players in this league and other leagues that would move to a club who offers the most money. Now, okay, if that club's in Europe, all the better. I do take the point, like a year of Europe might not do Spurs any harm. But if you've got a player that you're looking at, and it's a choice between Arsenal in the Champions League and Spurs, who aren't, same money, same everything. Which one is his agent going to push him to? Arsenal. And that's where
Yeah, but Philip, I don't agree with that argument. I'm sorry, I can't, because if I was a player, right, and you're my agent, right, and you said, say it was Tottenham and Manchester United, right, and say Tottenham and Newcastle, right, Newcastle in the Champions League, and I'm going to be looking at them thinking, okay, they offer me the same money. Okay, Newcastle can offer me Champions League football, but am I going to get more game time at Tottenham, or am I going to get more game time at Newcastle? Because there's going to be more pressure on players because they're in Europe to perform. And am I going to have a season to bed myself in at a team that's not in Europe? Do you know what I mean? There's more chances on the training field to get it right. You've got less games to pack into a schedule. So you're only playing 1 or 2 games a week instead of playing 2 or 3 games a week. Do you know what I'm getting at? So
I still think that the lure of European football is in a tie-break situation, right? If there's nothing between the clubs other than the European option, that a lot of managers, a lot of agents will be pushing their play. Let's face it, the agents run this game. They're the ones that call who goes where and what.
That's true.
So they're as much to blame. Back in the good old days, in Jimmy Greaves, Alan Gilzine, Bobby Smith days, they didn't have it. The only agent those guys had was their bookie. You know, they did what they wanted themselves. There was nobody influencing them, and that's all changed now. And to me, agents are the scourge of this game. They really are, especially the ones.
Yeah, FTS and Column says this European football pool isn't as big as what people think. It's the name and the size of the club that attracts players.
Yeah, true enough. But like, I'm using sites like you take Tottenham and Arsenal, similar sized clubs, similar ground capacity, pretty much. Okay, I know we finished ahead of them 5 or 6 years out of the last 7, fair enough. But they're in Europe and we're not. And they, at the moment, right, look like a better prospect than Spurs because they've got a settled squad, more or less. We haven't. And that's another reason. You get a players coming, centre backs coming along. Who am I going to be playing alongside? Eric Dyer. Oh, right. Okay. Who's Arsenal centre back? Ben White or whatever you call it. Other guy they have. William. He's going to look at the players he's got beside him, and that can influence it as well. So there's a lot of things that go into a player whether he wants to come to the club or not, And another thing too is also what clubs are prepared to pay up front. Nobody pays the full transfer fee, right? But if you've got a team that's offered to maybe pay 10% more up front than another team, they're going to go there. So we argue all night about it. There's probably no right or wrong to it, but it's to me, if we were in Europe this season, we might just attract one more player than we actually will do.
I want to say a big hi to Dara Cloak. Let me know, Dara, how's the weather down in West Cork? I hope it's lovely for you. And Kate says, right, we've got to go and get our son. Great show, gents. When are you on next? We are on tomorrow at 1:00 tomorrow. We're back on, and I think it's myself, Philip, and Ellie, I think. And Mia. I think we're all on tomorrow at 1 anyway.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, we're about to finish now. We're coming up to the end of this podcast. This podcast will be put up onto Spotify and Amazon Music as well. So please do, if you're out shopping or at the gym, you can listen to us. All our podcasts actually are up there. Philip, very, very quickly, one of the last few things. transfer window open. Look, it's going to be breaking news every day, and of course, any breaking news we will bring it to you here first, as we always do.
Dermot, you have to bring up Carl Simpson's comment. You're not going away without doing that.
Okay. Okay. Let's bring up. Okay. All the other clubs can say what they is. Hang on, sorry. All the other clubs can say what they want. There's only one cock, and oh, for fuck's sake!
Every time. Oh dear! Oh dear! Come on, Dermot.
Right, I actually did something about the clock. Actually, funnily enough, and
Yeah,
it was the last.
The clock is back.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find out if that's the right PDF. Let's see. I hope it is, because it shows. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is the clock. The cockerel cock.
Mm-hmm.
Clock. Yeah. Or there is a cock-a-doodle-doo. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. We got yeah. Sorry. Look. we try not to miss comments, but when the chat is heavy, we try not to. So
but
you what, Philip?
Apologies if we miss your chat. It's not personal. It's just the volume. We have to try and.
So, if you do put it into a super chat, I know people can't afford it, but if you can, it does open and gets you up.
That's an interesting one that NS Sports is up there. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, that was the one he wanted to talk, and then we'll talk about the.
That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. I mean, when it gets to that stage, I think that's totally. It's like the Spurs fan that was banned for 3 years for making Hillsborough comments at Anfield. Fair dues to the club, they threw the book at him.
I will not. Right, what I'm going to say is this. Right. I'm trying to find the right words for this, because this is disgusting.
Yeah.
This is a person without a brain. A person that who's not a human being. He's not even a person. He's a piece of dirt at the bottom of everyone's shoe.
Yeah.
Look, as much as Pochettino managed us, as much as I said today, I'm done with Pochettino. He's not a Tottenham this. It's all done from a football fan banter point of view. It's my football point of view. But I will not go down that road what this person done. And whoever it is, I hope the Guards get you. I hope Chelsea and Tottenham get you, and I hope they ban you for life.
Exactly.
There's too much of this going on in football these days, Philip. And it was something I wanted to bring it in the show later on in the pre-season. But look, I grew up, and we both lived in an era, and I suppose most of the other people watching lived in an era where football violence and football hooliganism was very rife in the game. And you would get probably in the 70s as well, Philip, and the early 80s, fans dying at games. This is the look. I am going to get to my point, so you will get it what I'm making it. And there was no social media around, so it was done just via the news. Do you know what I mean? But since social media has come in, people now think it's okay to sit behind a keyboard or sit behind a phone or a laptop or whatever and do this. And this is wrong. This is very, very wrong. It's a human being at the end of the day. A human being with feelings, human being with a family.
With a family, you shouldn't be involved in it.
No. And so, Philip, look, do you think we're going back to the dark old days here?
No. The dark old days, I think, of football hooliganism was the 70s and the early 80s. Like, in those, as you rightly say, there's no social media in those days. And what they used to do was the West Ham firm, right, would make contact with the Tottenham firm the day we were playing a game and arrange for a bus stop on the Hackney Marshes or something like that.
Yeah.
And they would meet by appointment to kick the shit out of each other. And that's nowadays it's all done by Twitter and WhatsApp and whatever, and they're organising the same thing. So social media is a lot to answer for. But no, I don't think we'll ever go back to the actual running battles that teams had with each other.
No, but I mean, is this the new hooliganism now using social
media? It's electronic hooliganism, really.
Yeah.
It's electronic hooliganism. There will always be fights. I mean, look what the West Ham fans did out in Prague. Disgusting.
I know, it is.
It still happens.
Yeah, there's West Ham for you, but that's another thing. Anyway, Philip, look, we'll big up NS Sports. Look, sorry I missed your comment again, but look, thank you for bringing it up, and we will try in future to be a bit more on the ball. There's a lot of people again, so we will go through this. Now, Philip, here's the clock, whatever.
Right. I think your name should be on it there somewhere, Dermot.
Yeah, I think so. It should. Is that? And look who's behind, standing up there in the new kit.
Who is it?
Mr. Harry Kane.
Oh, Harry. Oh, good man, Harry.
Yeah. Right.
That's another indication he's staying.
Yeah. So this is where it is. Proud of the price, right?
I hope it's going. I mean, it's saying 12 o'clock. I hope it's not stuck on 12 o'clock without going.
Now, this is where it was in 1947.
Yeah, right.
Right? This is where it was in the 80s and the 60s. I had my first date underneath that clock.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right. Even more reason for Carl Simpson to keep on about it.
I did. We went to a Spurs game, and the arrangement meeting point was under the Cockerell clock. So yeah, it holds a bit of memories for me, but I'm glad to see it back. But there it is on the lamppost, and it symbolizes we were formed under a lamppost as well. So, and the gates are coming back.
Yeah,
there's a statue of Bill Nick going to be done as well. So there's a lot of stuff the club are doing. Just go through last 4 more bit of comments. Right, here we go. So we've got never been a superstitious one, but the Cockerell clock has always been something else. Yeah, it always has. Carl says no one deserves death threats. I hope they find them and ban them for football. Yeah, we all do as well. Carl Simpson. We've got Ellie said Cockerell clock, Dermot, don't allow Simpson to catch you out. That makes him a cock-a-hoop. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck the lot of you. Seriously. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Fuck the lot of you. Who is this person? We don't know who the person was who did that, but he's true. Wayne says any Spurs fan who does that should be reported, arrested, and given the lifetime ban by the club. Vile, appropriate nature from a small mind. Yeah, exactly. Keyboard warrior. FTSM column says, yes, Dermot, remember, it's the Cockerell cock, not clock. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Oh, lovely.
That person is sick doing that. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Got to go and talk to my wife now. See you tomorrow, Carl. Kate saying later, Carl. Darren says, Dermot, ignore these people. They don't deserve your rant or attention. I hope my boy Harry stays. He is staying, Darren. He is staying. And Eddie says, does anyone like the lily white choice of the kit we play at home? I believe.
I have to say, I love it.
I do. Are you getting it?
No, well, I have the shirt. Well, no, I haven't got the shirt. No, I'll tell you what it is. It's ironic that we're playing in the European kit the season we're not in Europe.
I know.
We did this the last time we wore all white, I think it was 1987 season. The season we lost the FA Cup to Coventry.
And what happened that season? Finished third in the league, semi-final of the League Cup, and the runners-up in the FA Cup.
And Clive Allen scored 49 goals. So,
Wayne said, "Is anyone keeping count?"
Well,
for me, saying cock.
Well, it's 25 and rising at the moment.
Honest to God, before I go to Lord, I want to take another picture with that R. That's cock. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Damn it, quit while you're ahead there, quick.
Yeah, I think I love all the white Spurs kits, but Nike are blandly are. You took someone to a Spurs game for your first date. Was there a second? Yeah, I married her. which ended in divorce. So thank God for that. Oh dear. And then we've got Kate saying, "Cock onto the clock. I can't cope."
Oh, lovely.
Oh, no. And on that bombshell.
I'm not going to look at that clock again without laughing. I really won't.
Same here. Absolutely same here. Philip, look, full relief. Right. Darius says, I'm going to get the new kit. I have told my kids to buy me a lily white shirt once I pass away.
To bury me in a lily white shirt.
Bury me in a lily white shirt. Oh, well.
Yes.
Well, hopefully now, Darren, that is many, many, many years away. And we get many good, and we get to see you at a Spurs game, either in Ireland or over at White Hart Lane. But Philip, before we go, I want you to pick one game, right?
Yeah.
And predict. I want you to look at that fixture. Right? I changed my mind. Right. Look at the fixtures. Where we're going to finish in the league and where we're going to finish in the cups.
I think we're going to finish 5th in the league this season. It'll be top 4 the following season. I think we're going to win a cup this season. I'll put us to win the Carabao Cup, right? The game I'm looking at is one I'm hoping to go to, is the Sheffield United game in September, and we're going to win that one 6-0. So there you
do you know what, Philip? I'll probably come with you to that game.
Yeah, it's the one that suits me best. Is it
a Saturday game?
It's a Saturday game at 3:00 at the moment.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think we're going to finish 3rd in the league under Postecoglou. We're going to win the FA Cup and semi-finals of the League Cup. That's my prediction. But we will do a proper prediction show. And to end it all off, Dora says, my days are coming to an end soon. I hope I see us winning the trophy with my boy Harry Kane.
Yeah, well,
look,
we all hope we all hope the trophies end.
Yeah, we will. Big up, Dara. And FTSM column says you're going to do the quad, and Wayne says 6 in the League Cup winners, FA Cup quarterfinals. Well, Philip, thank you so much for doing this podcast with me. It's been great fun. We've gone through a lot of news. We will be back tomorrow at 1. We'll be doing more content over the weekend, whatever we're going to do. I don't know. We will be doing. We might even throw in a golden game over the weekend.
Yeah.
An old cup final, an 81 or 82 cup final, just to bring back a few memories for people in the chat. So watch out for that. But we're back tomorrow with Transfer Talk, which is taken over from Newsbeat for the summer. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your evening. Philip, thank you so much indeed for coming on with me. And I tell you what, let's give Fred an outing again.
Oh, yeah, Fred deserves it, yeah.
Now, I would just like to say, this is Philip after he's found out that Tottenham have won the league.
Oh. Said Colin might join us at the Sheffield United game. So.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, big up, Colin. We'll see you there then.
Well, hang on, Colin. It's a game in Tottenham, not in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see anyway. But listen, enjoy your rest of the evening. Thank you all for watching. This will be going up on Spotify and Amazon Music tonight. So please give us a like and listen there. Hit your subscription button and a like on this channel here. Whatever you do, have a lovely evening. Come on, you Spurs. In and we trust.
Exactly.